moving further, we have to talk about that this partially digested food which is present here in the stomach region has to further move into the small intestine. Here the medium is completely acidic. In small intestine the medium is alkaline. Here it is acidic because HCl makes it acidic. And over there it is alkaline because there are two more glands which are going to draw right now. The associated glands which will pour their secretions and makes the medium alkaline. To keep a check that food should not move backward into the the upper portion, here we have a sphincter, that is a gate known as gastroesophageal sphincter. Alright, sphincter means it's a gate, a checkpoint. Clear? So this semi-digested food has to enter now into the small intestine. For that we draw here liver, and over here pancreas, the leaf-like organ. Pancreas performs a dual function because it secretes hormones as well as enzymes. Hormones which directly move into the blood and control our body's processes, and here we are going to discuss its exogenous part. That means when it is secreting pancreatic juice, it has to move out through this pancreatic duct into the duodenum region of the small intestine. Now the food has to move, this partially digested food has to move from stomach to the intestine region. Alright. It also has a check here. That means the pyloric sphincter. Alright. Wherever the food is present, it always has its gate. It is locked inside. Whenever the process starts, then these gates open, these sphincters open and regulate the process of further digestion. Now here we say partially digested and churned food from the stomach enters into the small intestine. This food is acidic, which has to be made alkaline here by the action of secretions of liver as well as pancreatic juice. This liver secretes bile, which is stored temporarily in the gallbladder. Alright, then this gallbladder moves into the pancreatic duct. Alright, this gallbladder, when comes out of this duct, this becomes the common bile duct. The other name of liver is hepatic. So this is liver's duct. We should be calling it hepatic duct. Since it is carrying bile also, we are calling it common bile duct. Alright. The bile which is stored temporarily here by the gallbladder is released through this common bile duct into the pancreatic duct. Now, pancreatic duct is bringing its own material, that means its own pancreatic juice. This is the pancreatic juice, and bile duct is bringing its bile juice. Together, this duct, when it receives the common bile duct also, it is known as hepatopancreatic duct. Right. This one is now known as hepatopancreatic duct because it is receiving bile from the common bile duct and pancreas sending its pancreatic juice. So this bile duct as well as the pancreatic duct together forms the hepatopancreatic duct, which is opening into the duodenum region. The duodenum region where the maximum digestion takes place in small intestine. Alright, so this is the region where maximum digestion take place, and all because of the acids, this alkaline medium secreted by pancreatic juice as well as the bile juice. It will activate its enzymes and the further process starts. First of all, the bile which is coming here, what it does? This bile is basically bringing about the emulsification. What is emulsification? Emulsification means the breakdown. It helps in the breakdown of fat. Means this breaks the big fat molecules into the smaller ones. Alright, and these fatty molecules are basically responsible for converting into smaller and smaller globules so that these can be further processed by the body. And this pancreas, which is a yellowish gland which is located here, this secretes pancreatic juice. This pancreatic juice is basically alkaline medium and is responsible for activating all the pancreatic enzymes. Alright, and the enzymes that we are going to list here are trypsin, lipase, pancreatic amylase, and bicarbonate ion. This is not an enzyme but a component. So we will remember it with the formula TLPB. Remember, over there we have read the formula HPRM. Here we are learning a new formula TLPB. Alright, what this trypsin does? This trypsin is responsible for converting all these. यहाँ पर हमने proteins को polypeptides में break किया था ना. All these polypeptides into amino acids. This is the simplest form of proteins. Clear? And this lipase is responsible for the conversion of lipids as well as fats into the simpler absorbable molecules. Fats cannot be digested properly. These are always emulsified. Always remember, these are always converted into simpler forms. And the third one, pancreatic amylase. Amylase, remember, we have read this name here also, amylase. It converts the leftover 70% of the carbohydrates into maltose. Right. And bicarbonate ions. Bicarbonate ions are mainly responsible for maintaining the neutral environment here. Alright, it is here for the neutralization of whatever is happening in the body. So, this duodenum region of small intestine, it is the mainly region where this action of enzymes take place, and here we see the complete process of digestion takes place. Then when we draw further that what is happening next is, we see this food, when after completely digested, digestion part is over, has to be absorbed into the body. That starts in the small intestine as well. So for that we see there are certain intestinal juices as well in the small intestine that help in the conversion of different types of food particles that are formed into further simpler forms. Alright, these are number 1, maltose, the one which we have shown formed here, this maltose is acted upon by maltase enzyme into glucose units only. Then sucrose, another food product, acted upon by sucrase into glucose as well as fructose unit. Third one is lactose food is converted by lactase into glucose and galactose. Then the peptides, dipeptides, which are not getting converted there, they are acted upon by another intestinal enzyme into amino acids. Okay, and then these are proteases enzymes. Then we see nucleic acids. These are further converted to nucleotides, then nucleosides, and so on. What are nucleic acids? DNA and RNA, right? So these are also acted upon, and here the enzymes are nucleotidases, A's. Remember, wherever we have written the enzyme, we have ended it by writing A's, ASE, nucleotidase or nucleosidase. Alright, so these are responsible for further conversion. Then how the food is absorbed. This is also an interesting process. We have done digestion. Now food is basically absorbed by the small finger-like projections which are known as villi. Villi are richly supplied with the blood capillaries. Alright, and all these products are since soluble in water, it can be easily supplied or made to reach the wall of the intestine which contains these villi. These are numerous finger-like projections. Okay, so these finger-like projections generally increase the surface area, so that absorption takes place. This is how these are present. These are villi. It's like an elastic. If we stretch it, automatically it will increase the surface area. There are certain microvilli are also present. These microvilli are further convolutions of these villi. These further increase the surface area when required. Okay, so this is what the process takes place in the small intestine. And then comes the large intestine. What happens in large intestine? Small intestine is followed by large intestine. It is shorter but wider. It lacks villi but secretes mucus. Now the greater part of the large intestine is colon. It has colon, that which gives a circulated appearance due to a series of constrictions in it. Alright, colon is followed by a vertical column called rectum. Okay, the rectum, it leads to the canal which is called anus, and that canal, it releases out the excretory matter. Now here is also sphincter, this fecal matter which is formed after the digestion of water, mainly from the larger intestine, because water is mainly absorbed in large intestine. Maximum amount of water is absorbed here. That is mainly we say it is responsible for. And this fecal matter, whatever is left, is egested out through this anal opening by the activity of sphincter. This sphincter regulates the opening and closing of the anus. Alright, this process ends here, but we have to draw the diagram continuing what happens after this. Alright, that I'm drawing here on the next page. Now, we have drawn till here. Okay, then we say this portion undergoes convolutions. It is a convoluted part, means it has so many networks and here is the appendix region. What is appendix? It is vermiform appendix. Remember children, what is vermiform appendix? Yes. Vermiform appendix, it is a comma-like projection which is present, which is a rudimentary organ now. It is present in earlier times whenever we used to, eat raw food. So we need to have excessive gastric juices in the body. We have to have excessive amount of this food to be absorbed and assimilated in the body. For that we need to first digest it. For that we had this appendix. Nowadays we get it operated whenever the pain occurs. This is the inflammatory portion whenever which has to undergo surgery during vermiform during its pain. So this is appendix. Then cecum, it is the storehouse of microorganisms. We know that there are certain microorganisms which are really good for us. The symbiotic ones, they stay here in the cecum region. Then this is the extended part of colon. Then this is the transverse colon and the descending colon. Ascending, transverse and descending colon. This leads to rectum region and finally the anus. Okay, so rectum, which absorbs mainly water. This is the large intestine part. This entire is the large intestine, which is responsible for converting undigested food into feces, FAECES, that is the fecal matter. All right. Now, here in the small intestine region, all the processes take place that we have listed above. This is the location of pancreas and this is the location of liver along with the gallbladder. All right, clear to you all? Thank you so much.